let's say for every water tap you get, there's about 2.7 new individuals coming into your city. So at the starting basis of the 2000 census, and counting the water taps we've added, we're using that estimation of 28,700. Now, if that 2.7 were to go to 2.8, we could be closer to 30,000. So that's a thumb rule we use and a postulation that we make. It'll be interesting to see how accurate that is. We have an awful lot of babies born in this city, so I don't know, I'm kind of thinking we're closer to 30 or maybe over 30,000. But that population growth is what attracts the retail and commercial development to our city and why we have all of these nice shopping opportunities here, and what brings business to all of you folks out here. As Joyce told you, the United States Census is in your hands, and you can't overemphasize the importance of this census. Every federal, state, and local program that has to direct and decide how to disperse money, public money that's collected, uses the census in some form or another to determine how that's spent. So extremely important. Please encourage everybody to participate. This chart here really tells an interesting story of construction dollars. Now, I know you can't read these, but back in 1994, all construction work in the city of Wentzville, there was about $11 million of construction activity that happened in the city of Wentzville. Now, economists tell us that every dollar generated in the community will recirculate the local economy almost 7 times. Wages are paid out, they buy things, groceries, goods for their house, and improvements. So you can see that's a pretty big impact. 11 million times 7 is $77 million of regenerated impact in the local community. In 2005, we had $303 million of construction activity in the city of Wentzville. That is absolutely huge. The construction activity the last 10 years has dwarfed the economic activity generated by the General Motors plant. In the early days, we were very, very dependent upon the activity, sales and use tax generated by General Motors. But people forget that the construction industry is, just because it isn't in one roof, its impact in the community is absolutely huge. Now, if you go from 2005 of that number, 303 million, we hit a low in 2008 of $94 million of construction activity. We hadn't seen that since 1998. So has been kind of the flat decade from 1998 to 2008, 1999 to 2009. A lot of people are looking at that, and economists are calling it kind of the lost years. We're just about where we were 10 years ago. So kind of interesting numbers to contemplate, good information for you as business people to know. Residential building permits kind of show us why that construction activity dropped. Again, back in 1994, we had a whopping 40 building permits in the city of Wentzville. When we were about in 2000, when we were 6,900 people, we had 734 building permits, and I would guess that a lot of that was increased activity when Bear Creek started development. It was one of the first subdivisions to begin development out here about that time, late 90s, early 2000. We hit a peak in 2004 of 1,459 building permits. It sort of follows the national trend in housing construction. And you can see what's happened in 2005, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There's other charts here that we aren't going to show you, and that's how land development process goes on. Usually land development continues even after construction starts go down, and there's a few years lag between construction starts and land development. But our P&Z meetings have been real short for the last 3 to 4 years because nobody's bringing new subdivisions or plats online for development. What's here is here, and we have 1,700, somewhere between 1,700 and 2,000 lots that have sewer, street, and water to them that are waiting to be developed with no activity on them. So we have a lot of incomplete neighborhoods right now that need to be completed. Moving on to our budget. Everybody's looking for fiscal responsibility in government from the federal to the local level. And I think that we've done an awesome job. The Board of Aldermen, our staff has done an awesome job. As you can see that decline in instruction dollars from the peak down, our revenues, the city revenues, have been falling consistently. Money coming in from taxes and use tax has been going down consistently every year for 5 years. Well, we've had to make some major adjustments every year to stay ahead of the reduced revenue. We have to cut our spending equal or greater to the reduced revenue. We've reduced our work, just in 2010, we reduced our workforce a total of 4% through attrition and job freezing and no new hiring. We reduced expenditures in 8 out of 9 of our operating funds, and we've done this without cutting services to the residents. All cities are rated on a system of A through D on services. Our city comes in probably, Bill, we're about a Class B, somewhere around a Class B in rating, which means you're getting a lot of services that a lot of Class C cities don't get. I know there were cities in the last blizzard that didn't have their streets plowed. I know there were cities that didn't have ice melt put down, and because there just wasn't money in the funds to do that. So we're still able to plow the streets, provide trash, sewer, water services at a Class B level. We've reduced operational costs just in 2010 by $2,053,000. That's just in 2010. We reduced our operational costs in 2009 and 2008 about the same. So you can see that's a direct reflection of the sales and use tax and decline in construction activity. Changes, we made some changes in our health care that resulted in a 9.6% reduction in cost. We always look at that very carefully every budget year. The other thing we've done is deferred $800,000 in supplemental expenditures and capital outlay. We're going to drive the police cars another year. We're going to not buy this truck or that piece of equipment or the other because we just want to save the money. We're trying to squeeze some more miles out of it. And we'll be able to do this for a while, but eventually you do have to replace some of this capital equipment because the last thing you want is a wheel falling off a police car while he's coming to your house. So we can put that off for a while, but we can't put it off for too long. Or we could buy golf carts from the police. Chief didn't like that idea. Also, we've combined contracts on a citywide basis for efficiencies and cost savings. All department heads have to submit their requests for purchases. We try to combine things. We're using Craigslist, and other things like that. We're getting on the cutting edge of the internet technology. Our capital projects are really, really down this year in 2010. About the only thing we have on transportation is design for the Church Street improvements. We completed our master plan for the downtown area of the city. You can go online and look at that if any of you have property down there or businesses. We have a long-range master plan for the future development of downtown. We're starting with some improvements on Church Street. First thing we're going to do is improve access to Dairy Queen and In-N-Out to Tom Paris. That was Tom's request specifically. In construction, we're going to start Interstate Drive Phase 3. That will take Interstate Drive from Wilmer Road to the west through Demeen Construction's old office area there and on over to Hepburn Road. We are going to start in the spring on Old Business Route 61 improvements from Pete's Drive-In north with a roundabout and then some new access into the ice arena in that area there. And then we do have the Mexico Road improvements will be beginning in the spring also, and I know everybody that lives out there is real happy about that. Someday they'll have shoulders and curb and gutter and everything probably within 2 years there. Stormwater projects. We always have ongoing stormwater projects. Northview Court. These are some of the older areas in town. Some of you may have heard about the flooding. When you have the 10-inch rainfall, actually our engineering and design standards for most cities are only encompass about a 2-inch rainfall in an hour is what you design for. You can't design for a 10-inch rainfall in 1 hour, or you would never, your catch basins would be as big as this room and you would have huge catch basins every 10 houses. But there are some problems in the Northview Court and